Hello, children. How are you? I hope you are very, very good. Let's start with today's lesson. So, please don't forget your material. Remember, this is your classwork notebook, homework notebook, Amaze book, Superminds books, and your pencil case. Okay? Very good. So, today we have a lesson of reading. And we are going to continue and finish reading our book, Ancient Egypt. Okay, so let's see. Let's start checking vocabulary. So the first vocabulary word we have is sphinx. Sphinx. Please repeat sphinx. Okay, an sphinx is an ancient imaginary creature, body and woman's head. Okay, lion's body, woman's head. Sphinx. Clever, clever. This is a characteristic and it refers to someone that is intelligent and who understands the things easily. Clever. Next one, hieroglyph. Hieroglyphs. The hieroglyphs are pictures or symbols that represent words used in ancient Egypt. Hieroglyphs. Carve. Repeat, carve. And this is make an object or a shape by like moving, cutting will be the correct word. Cutting, it can be wood like in the picture or stone. Carve. Next one, papyrus. Papyrus. And this is the name of a paper that Egyptians made in the past. Papyrus. Scrolls. Scrolls. The scrolls are rolls of paper with information, with handwriting. In this case, the Egyptians made the paper, the papyrus, and then they wrote information in it. And as books didn't exist, the scrolls were like the antique books, the old books for them. Shaved head. Shaved head. Okay, you have the picture. Is when a person has hair, they have hair, but they decided to eliminate it. Okay, so a person who has hair, but this person decides to cut it or to shave it, so the person gets a shaved head. Wig, wig, and this is artificial hair. Wig. Chariot, chariot. This was a transportation, a vehicle with two wheels as you can observe in the photo. Usually, these chariots were used in Egypt, in Greece, um, for rising, or also when there were fights, they used a chariot or chariots. So repeat, chariot. Next, voyage, voyage. This one refers to a long journey or a trip, especially when you do this trip through the ocean. Okay, so that was a voyage. For example, when Christopher Columbus came to America, to in that time the Indias, that was a voyage because he came. It was a very, very long trip, and it was in a ship, in a big boat. Okay, and the last one, ivory. Ivory. And the ivory, as you can see, is a hard object, is white, and this comes from the elephant's tusk. Okay, so that is the ivory. Nowadays, it's not allowed to hunt uh, elephants because people only want this material that it's very expensive, the ivory. Okay, very good. So those are the words that we are going to be using for this reading and for the class. So in the class, we are going to have more activities to practice this vocabulary. Okay, so let's start and let's continue reading the book Ancient Egypt. Remember, today we are going to finish the book. We are going to read chapter 4, Gods and Goddesses, chapter 5, Egyptian Writing, chapter 6, Tutankhamen, and chapter 7, Hatshepsut. Okay, so let's start. So we have gods and goddesses. Here you can see some Egyptian gods and goddesses with human bodies and animal heads. The gods are shown this way because ancient Egyptians believed in animal gods too. They also believed the gods and goddesses made good and bad things happen in the world. The Sphinx of ancient Egypt is a huge statue in the desert. It has a human head and an animal body. Can you see that it has the body of a lion? The Sphinx was a symbol of a god and a pharaoh. Three of the most powerful Egyptian gods are shown here. The god Osiris has a green face. His wife, Isis, is next to him. Horus, their son, has the head of a falcon. Egyptians believed that Horus's eye protected the living and the dead. His eye was often drawn on the walls of tombs. The god Anubis has the face of a jackal. A jackal is a wild dog. Egyptians thought that the gods and goddesses were clever and smart like certain animals. The Egyptians' main god was Ra, the sun god. He is always shown with the sun above his head. The goddess Maat is usually shown wearing an ostrich feather. Very good. Now let's go with chapter 5. Egyptian writing. Ancient Egyptians used little pictures called hieroglyphs to make words. The hieroglyphs shown here were carved on a stone wall. Egyptians also wrote on paper, which they made from the papyrus plant. Sometimes the sheets of paper were joined together to make scrolls. In ancient Egypt, scribes knew how to read and write. They wrote important information on walls and on paper. This Egyptian man is a scribe. Scribes had special tools, including writing boards made of wood. These boards were like little desks that could be carried around. Hieroglyphs look like pictures. Each picture could be a sound, part of a word, or a whole word. These beautiful hieroglyphs reveal the name of a king. Chapter 6. Tutankhamen. For thousands of years, people hoping to become rich have tried to find the pharaoh's tomb and treasures. Howard Carter and Lord Carnarvon were two such men. After much searching, and to their great delight, they found King Tut's tomb. The tomb was filled with extraordinary things. Among the many treasures was a beautiful throne that King Tut had once sat upon. Incredibly, they found King Tut's mummy. The mummy had been inside the tomb for thousands of years. On the mummy there was a golden mask of King Tut's face. Before long, the whole world heard about these exciting discoveries. This sculpture, also found inside the tomb, shows the face of the young King Tut. Like many important Egyptians, his head was shaved so that he could wear a wig. Egyptians also wore wigs so that itchy bugs couldn't get into their hair. This chariot belonged to King Tut. It is possible the young King Tut rode into battle or through the streets of an Egyptian city on this chariot. This box, found in King Tut's tomb, was made to hold jewelry. There are hieroglyphs all over the box. This is the Rosetta Stone. The words on the stone helped people understand ancient Egyptian writing. Because of the Rosetta Stone, we have learned about pharaohs and gods, the games Egyptians played, and the food they liked to eat. Chapter 7. Hatshepsut. Another very famous pharaoh was Hatshepsut. Hatshepsut became a pharaoh after her husband died. She had to work very hard to show that a woman could be a pharaoh too. Hatshepsut was a great pharaoh. She sent Egyptians on an ocean voyage to get the things that were needed back home in Egypt. This ocean voyage happened about 3,500 years ago. The Egyptians brought back sweet-smelling oils, gold, ivory, plants, and valuable goods. Hatshepsut was very pleased to see these things. Very good, children. So we've finished our book, Ancient Egypt. I hope you liked it. And that's all for today. Have an excellent weekend. I'll see you later in the online class to continue practicing vocabulary and to review our reading. Okay? See you. Have an excellent weekend. Bye bye.